Jake Browning is secretly elite and the Bengals will win a lot of games with him. Yes, this is actually a real take I got for this video. Listen, this is hot take, so I'm going to roll with it. Jake Browning, I don't think so. I don't think he's elite, but I think he's going to be serviceable. That Bengals offense is good enough to where it's not going to matter. But I'm still going to laugh at you because I think that's absolutely ridiculous. Welcome to NFL Hot Takes, where you drop your hottest takes from this week of the NFL. And of course, I react to them. And if you want to drop your hot takes for next week, subscribe and be ready for my posts on the community page I make every single week. And if you think I'm wrong about some of these takes, let me know. From Football Junkie, we have the Colts will mimic the Saints of last year and Daniel Jones will be benched by week 8. Listen, for as much as I think the Colts team is a little skeptical right now, yes, they're playing very strong, but I kind of do want to hold off. I know Shane Steichen is a pretty good coach, so I wouldn't be surprised if he coaches him up to be some team that can go in and win a lot of games. However, the difference between the Saints of last year and the Colts this year is that the Colts have a much better offensive line, a better running back, and better weapons in the room, especially with Tyler Warren. I don't think that they're going to be this team that falls off. I think they're actually going to stay pretty consistent. I don't think they're a playoff team, but I am not buying this take at all. Connor Metz 25 says, unless a miracle happens, the Dolphins and Giants will be looking for head coaches. And I feel like this is kind of already common knowledge, so I'm not going to take a lot of time on this one. But I think the Dolphins are going to be looking for a coach very soon. I don't think Mike McDaniel is a good coach to begin with. And Brian Daboll, I think, is a okay coach. But, you know, they got to put a scapegoat out there for the Giants team. And they looked pretty solid yesterday, so I'm interested to see if that actually happens. But I think that's all relative. But the Giants, I don't know, but the Dolphins, I'm 100% buying that they're going to be getting rid of a coach. Next is, I'm not going to say this guy's name because I'm not getting clipped. He says Aaron Glenn is going to be one and done. I'm selling it completely. He's not going to be one and done. I mean, they played the Bills. Like, they got dog walked by the Bills. And the Bills, what are they? They're juggernauts in the NFL. I mean, they've owned the Jets over the last couple of years, and I don't think it's suddenly going to change because there's a new coach. Justin Fields got hurt too. Yes, he didn't play good, but it's the Bills. They're juggernauts. They own the Jets. Like, there's nothing more to it there. Aaron Glenn is not going to be one and done. I am selling this one. NFL V2 says Jags will win the Super Bowl. New head coach and new system. If they play as consistent as they did in the first half, they'll be good. No. Are you seriously? This is a serious take. Like, yeah, they're hot takes, but it gets to a point where you're stupid and oblivious. This is not happening, okay? The Jags are not set up in a spot right now to win a Super Bowl. Their offense is pretty solid, but Lawrence needs to clean up his play a little bit, and they got to build that defense a little bit more. I think you guys got a little bit of time before you can even be told you can be in Super Bowl contention. I mean, you just lost to the Jake Browning Bengals. Like, What should make me believe that this is actually going to happen? This is ridiculous. I can't even believe I just put in any effort to cover this one. Next is Elegant Data saying that Russell Wilson might be back. And listen, I feel like Russ did this not too long ago where he played a couple of good games. He had maybe a good game, and then he just fell off a cliff. I mean, Dallas's defense isn't necessarily good, guys. It's as simple as that. He might not be in this. He might have played good, but I don't think he's back. I think we need to tread water a little bit here. I don't think he's back just yet. So I'm going to hold off on this one. I'm selling it. Random Hippo says that the Vikings will be picking top 5 in the 2026 draft and waste a talented defense. Signed a Vikings fan. And honestly, I think it's possible. I don't think they're actually going to pick inside the top 5. I think they're going to be able to steal a couple of games because of how talented their team is overall, even if JJ McCarthy isn't good. I don't think that they're going to be picking in the top 5, maybe top 10, but top 5, I don't think so. At the same time, I wouldn't be surprised, but you know, I don't think the offense is that abysmal to the point where they're not going to be able to put up points, and the defense isn't going to be able to make plays and set up the offense for success. So I'm going to sell this one for now, but I wouldn't be surprised if it actually happens. Hacks says Chargers are going to win the division. I want to see what tonight looks like. I'm recording this before Monday night's game, and I kind of want to see what they look like first. Obviously, they look like the most dominant team in the division so far, but it's the Chiefs are the Chiefs. I can't count them out just yet. So Right now, I think I'd agree with this. I think I'm going to buy this take right now. Chargers look like the best team in the division. But yeah, I think they actually will win this division if it's not the Chiefs or the Broncos here. But I think the Chargers got the best shot. Next is Dalla saying Daniel Jones will make the Pro Bowl. No, I don't think he's making the Pro Bowl. I think he's going to continue to play as a solid quarterback, but the teams that had the quarterback talent in the AFC is so good. Like, I don't think Daniel Jones is going to find his way in, but it could be possible because not everybody goes to the Pro Bowl. But, you know, if the take is just that he makes the Pro Bowl, I think it's possible, but I think there's just so much talent in the AFC quarterback-wise to think that's not going to happen just yet. So for now, I'm going to sell this one, but I wouldn't be surprised if it actually does happen. I don't know what to think of Daniel Jones just yet. I think he's playing well, and I think he could continue to play well under Shane Steichen's offense, but it's Daniel Jones, so I'm going to hold off just a little bit. Next is Honking Out Dirt Snakes, and he says the Jets will continue to suck. This isn't a hot take. I mean, did you understand the concept of the video? This is hot takes, not freezing cold takes, not history is going to repeat itself for the last 15,000 years. Yes, the Jets will continue to suck. Like, yeah, I'm buying it, and I'm buying $10,000 worth of stock into it. Yes, the Jets will continue to suck. Swarze, and this is a really hot one. He says, my hot take for 2021 still lives. The Bengals should have drafted Penei Sewell over Ja'Marr Chase. Whoa, that's hot. That's hot. I'm going to have to sell it, though. And my reason being is that Ja'Marr Chase is more of a standout and generational player than Penei Sewell ever will be. And you could have gone into other drafts and free agency and picked up guys that could have done, you know, obviously not as much as Sewell, but done a job good enough to protect Burrow. And I think that the fact that they didn't do that, that's a front office issue. That's not necessarily a drafting issue, because Ja'Marr Chase is such a good player. I mean, we saw it last year. We saw it. We've seen it so far this year. We've seen it years before that. He's a top 2 receiver in the NFL. And to think that he shouldn't have been drafted over Sewell, I mean, that's kind of ridiculous to say. But at the same time, I understand it. But I feel like Penei Sewell is more of a replaceable piece than a player like Ja'Marr Chase. That's just my opinion, so I'm going to sell this one. JPTZ says Puka might win OPOY if he stays healthy, considering JJ looks bad, Burrow out for a while, and Russell Wilson is not reliable. I already picked Puka to be my OPOY, so I'm going to buy in on this one. Puka, I think, is set up best for success currently, and I think he was set up for very good success earlier. Before the season even started. And, I mean, there's just no reason that he shouldn't win OPOY. I mean, the offense is so fast and high-flying, and they're a pass-first offense. Stafford's going to air it out, and he finds his number one guy, and he locks onto him. He did it with Cooper Kupp not too long ago, and now Puka is that guy. So, yeah, I think he will win OPOY, so I'm buying this. And a contradicting one here, Sandwich Lover says St. Brown for OPOY. Yeah. Not going to happen. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think there's too much going on that Lions offense for that to even be realistic, especially with Jahmyr Gibbs and Jameson Williams. You could say the same about the Rams too, but like I feel like they have more of a passing identity over in LA than they do in Detroit. And St. Brown is always going to be a good player, but he's going to rival for targets. I mean, it's really that simple with Laporta and Jameson Williams and the emergence of Isaac Tesla. Like, he's going to be battling for targets. Obviously, he's going to be the number one guy, but Puka is like solidified to get a lot of targets, so I'm going to be selling this one. Another take from him says the Ravens will have a 6th, 7th ranked defense. Rough start, but I think they'll eventually lock in. Zio is still an inexperienced coach, but I believe it will gel eventually. And I agree. I'm going to buy this one. I think the defense is too talented to not eventually get to the point where they're such a good team and such a good defense. There's just so much talent on the back half. I mean, when you have Malachi Starks and Kyle Hamilton sitting over top at safeties, Kyle Van Noy on your line, Roquan Smith as your linebacker, like Marlon Humphrey at corner, like your top guys are really elite, and there's no reason that the defense should be as bad as it was the first week. And they played a juggernaut team like the Bills. Like, when you play teams like that, it's going to be tough to really lock it in. But I think when the season is all said and done and we're towards the end of the regular season, seeing the Ravens in a top 6th or 7th defense wouldn't be surprising to me at all. So I'm buying this one. Next is Football 8545. It says Chiefs are a wild card team at best. No, I disagree. I'm selling this one. It's the Chiefs. They are going to find a way. They have a lot of injuries right now, but I think they'll be wild card at worst. I mean, come on. It's the Chiefs. When you're led by Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, there's no reason that this team should ever be thought as a wild card team at best. I mean, they weren't really necessarily that good last year. They won a lot of close games, and they didn't really stand out in any of those. And yeah, they're starting 0-2 right now, but they have a lot of things going against them, and it's the Chiefs. They're going to figure out how to work their way through. So, yeah, I don't think it's possible that they finish as a wild card at best. I could very well see them still winning the division after such a poor start, especially when they get their pieces back and hopefully get a run game going. So I'm selling this take. Next is I'm new here saying the Ravens have one of the best offenses of all time. No, just simply no. They're a good offense, but all time is kind of ridiculous. I mean, you have Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, Zay Flowers. Like, when we're looking at all-time offenses, they are not falling under that category. I'm sorry. They're a great offense. They might be one of the best offenses in the league this year, but all-time, no chance. And I'm sorry, I'm selling this one, and I'm selling a lot of it. Next is, but I play one on TV saying Mahomes is going to get hurt with these hero ball runs. And probably, I mean, it might happen eventually. I mean, you can't really predict or buy or sell if somebody's gonna get hurt, because I don't know, I feel like it's an ethical thing to not do, but I wouldn't be surprised if he got hurt. I mean, when you don't have a run game, you kind of have to rely on yourself to get out of the pocket and scramble, and he doesn't slide, like, ever. He just takes hits, and, you know, Mahomes hasn't really dealt with many injuries before, so it's like, it's a toss-up. I really don't know. I think I'm just gonna not really give my full stance on this right now, because, like, these ones about injuries, like, what's going to happen, I just feel off about it. But I wouldn't be surprised if it happens, but I also don't think it's gonna happen, so you can make your decision for me there. Next is GB288 saying the Rams versus 49ers are going to be the NFC Championship game. I'm selling this one. I think the Rams can make the NFC Championship game. They were actually my pick to go to the Super Bowl this year. You can watch that video. We'll see. It's probably not aged well already. But I don't think the 49ers are going to get to the championship game. I think there are teams much better in the NFC currently right now that I think the 49ers would fall to. I am liking how much better their defense is looking, though. And then when Brock Purdy and George Kittle and Brandon Ayuk inevitably come back, I think they're going to be a pretty dangerous team. But in comparison to all these two other teams in the NFC, I just don't think that they can really beat any of them right now. I mean, I don't think they're better than the Eagles. I don't think they're better than the Packers. I don't think they might be better than the Lions. But, you know, if they play the Packers in a divisional round, I think they'll find their way to the championship game because the Packers can't beat them. But I'm selling this take. I don't think it's happening. Rams and 49ers in the NFC Championship game, not buying it. Next is Inside Drink saying the Broncos will place last in their division. Wasn't high on them to begin with, but they haven't looked great so far. I'm selling this. I think they're not going to finish last. I actually think they're going to still make the playoffs. I mean, kind of look at the aspect of the AFC now, especially with Joe Burrow hurt. I don't think the Broncos are going to be last. You know, they're a better team than the Raiders. They may have had a rough game against the Colts, but in all fairness, it just didn't go their favor. I mean, those kind of games are going to happen. Good teams are going to have trap games. It happens. Their defense is too good to not lead them to the playoffs or not lead them to last in the division. Their offense is good enough to make sure they don't finish last in the division. I don't think the Raiders are a better team than them because that's who I do think is going to finish last. But at the same time, I think the AFC West is going to be one of the most competitive divisions in football. But them finishing last, I'm not buying it at all. Aeon1508 says, I don't know if this is a hot take or just an observation, but he says the lack of run game in the Chiefs is a bigger deal than the injured wide receivers. Buying all day. When you are a one-dimensional offense, it is so difficult to get going. I mean, we kind of saw it with teams last year. Like, I think a good example from last year is when the Giants got rid of Saquon. You know, they weren't a great team to begin with, But as soon as they got rid of Saquon, their team turned to literal a dumpster fire because they didn't have a run game to rely on. Tyrone Tracy's a good running back, but they couldn't rely on him, so they were airing it out so many times during a game. And the Jets did the same thing. They stopped running the ball, Breece Hall and Braylon Allen, and Rodgers was throwing, 45, 50 times a game? Like, you can't be a good offense if you are one-dimensional. And I think if the Chiefs keep struggling at running back with Pacheco and Hunt, they're going to be searching the running back market to make sure they can go grab a guy, because they understand how important a run game is. When Pacheco was at his best, that's when the Chiefs offense was at their best. Because if I'm correct, we kind of saw it with the Chiefs last year too. I mean, Pacheco wasn't great. They had Kareem Hunt. He was okay. But like, they were passing the ball so much because the run game was a disaster. And the fact that they still don't have a run game, they're going to have to go out and get somebody. And that's more of an issue when you have to make your quarterback run around who's not known as like a running quarterback like Lamar or Josh Allen. When you are relying on your quarterback to gain the running yards that you guys need to build as a team, you got issues. So I'm buying this one. And to finish off, this one had the most down votes. Over Aaron said the Packers are going to the NFC Championship. I'm gonna buy it. I think they could go to the NFC Championship. I'm definitely not being biased at all. You know, just ignore the Packers logo in the top right of the screen. But I do think this team is talented enough to go and make the NFC Championship. I mean, they laid the smackdown on the Lions. They dominated the Commanders. And we kind of saw what both of those teams that they faced ended up doing. I mean, the Lions beat the crap out of the Bears. They put up 52 on them. And the Giants went fist for fist with the Cowboys and had a 40-point game. Like, the Packers defense is elite. It's not even a question now. They have the best defense in the league. No debates, nothing. It all depends on Jordan Love. If Jordan Love can continue to play like how he's been playing at the start of the season and how he played the back half of the first year, they will go to the NFC Championship, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him in the Super Bowl, but I'm going to buy this for now. That's going to be all from me. If you want your hot take in the next video, subscribe and keep an eye on the community page, and drop me your predictions for this upcoming week of football. Wednesday, I'm making a video for your guys' predictions, so subscribe and like and be ready for that. See you guys. Love you all.